show. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited and the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, have recently refuted rumors of an impending increase in the price of PMS, that's petrol. Well, tensions arose following concerns about the ongoing government subsidy payment, leading to speculations for an increment in the cost of the commodity. However, both NNPCL and Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria have emphasized that there are no plans to increase the price of PMS, urging the public to disregard the rumors and refrain from panic buying. For more perspective on this, I have live in the studio the Southwest Zonal Chairman of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Mr. Dele Tajudeen. Happy New Year to you. It's good to see you live in the studio. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon, Tolu, and good afternoon, TVC family. Happy New Year to Nigerians.
Yes, but we are starting the new year again on the price of fuel, not knowing whether we are going to 1,200 or where. But clearly speaking, I'm sure you heard about this back and forth. You are a top member, ranking member of IPMAN. What really do you understand of all? What do you understand of all of this back and forth?
Well, once again, good afternoon, viewers, and Happy New Year. I want to say with all sense of responsibility that our national officers have spoken, the national president, the national vice chairman was on here yesterday with the national PRO. Those are people that are charged with the authority to speak on behalf of IPMAN. And apart from the national officers, we have the zonal officers and we have unit officers who can speak on behalf of IPMAN. Those are the authorized people to speak on behalf of IPMAN. Any other person, it may be just a personal opinion. And I want to use this opportunity to advise our people, especially the journalists, that when people are speaking with you, please try to identify, verify, and profile that person. For example, as I speak with you, apart from being the zonal chairman of IPMAN, I have a company name because I can't become IPMAN without having a company. So ask such people their company name and probably if they are officers, so that you can hold them accountable for, because somebody just went on here online and started saying what is not true and putting everybody on unnecessary prayers. So I want to say emphatically that such statement is not from IPMAN, and there's no basis for it. And in recent time, and I think in the future, there is no cause for alarm for people to panic that the product prices are going to be increased from probably 620, 630 to 1,200. That is not true. That is not correct, and there is no basis for it.
That fear of that panic buying is what I don't even like. You see filling stations immediately. That very day where I saw that thing trending online, I drove around and I saw that station started shutting down their gates, and they're telling you they don't have products. Meanwhile, some of them had, but because of that back and forth about change in price, I want to ask you, you're a marketer. We as users, we always have that problem with marketers. Whenever price of fuel goes up, it's always very quick for them to change the pumps. But when the price comes down, that is when many of them say, well, we can't find our engineer. We still have stocks. What happens when those kind of issues come up? What do we do as consumers? Yes, I'm going to ask you that way. What do we do?
It is unfortunate that the marketers we are at the receiving end, because if people are panicking about buying a product from unverified stations like TVC, because I know quite well that if an authentic information is coming out, we see it on the headline of the national televisions. Yes. So for us, in fact, some of my friends had called that, IPMAN, you people want to increase the price. So I want to appeal to our people that they must always verify. And this statement you made, I don't know And I'm not sure our members did that, because you will recall that the information came up during holiday time, yes, when people are on holiday. So it's not as if we closed down our stations. And even within the period, there was no queue, there was no... It's just that it's natural when people have such situation, they want to rush and buy. But I want to tell you that we did not close down our filling stations.
Now, let's go back to this pricing issue is becoming topical. And some would say that, really, what are the fundamentals? Are we really paying the appropriate price? Because we're thinking that removal of subsidy was part of our moves to deregulation. But we have been grappling with this for some time now. What would be your position? Yes, let me ask this way. With regards to deregulation, now, how far have we gone? Are we towing the right line as we move on?
Well, it is quite unfortunate, because the expectation from subsidy removal is quite different from the reality on ground now.
The truth.
Because we all supported the removal of the subsidy, believing that government will put all machinery in place to ensure that everything goes on as it's supposed to be. But as of today, it is still NNPCL only that import fuel. Mm-hmm. As if that is not enough, the refineries has not started working. I expected government to have put all those things in place before, announcing the removal of subsidy. As at the time we were clamoring for this removal of subsidy, dollar was less than 400 naira to $1. Today, dollar is 1,250 naira to $1. Of course, it has its own implications. That is about almost 300% increase. Yes. So if the dollar has been at about 300 or 400 naira, we will not witness what we have witnessed today. If the refineries has been working, that is, we don't import petroleum products, especially PMS, probably we will not be at the price we have today. Yeah. So government still have a responsibility, and they must address that quickly, because you will agree with me with all sense of responsibility that the impact of the regulation on Nigerians is enormous. The impact to our petroleum marketers, our working capital rose from 7 million to 27 million without correspondence increase in our profit margin. Now, the implication on us is that people cannot even afford to buy 45,000 liters. We have to co-load. That is, you buy 15, I buy 15. And even some people are closing down their filling station because of this increment, because we don't have any support from anywhere. So that is the effect on them. But generally, effect on Nigerians. You agree with me that immediately our president announced the removal, everything changed. It is difficult for people now. We must say that even the basic needs, that is food, shelter, and clothing, is a difficult thing for people. Education is difficult. Medical situation is difficult. As an hypertensive patient, if you are buying your medicine at 12,000 before, it has risen to 40,000 naira.
That's more than 100%.
More than 200, 300%. So if you are a civil servant and you earn about 100,000 naira and you are hypertensive, if you bought this medication at this amount,
40,000,
how do you survive?
Left.
So I want to challenge the president, because it's our president, we voted for him, and we have our right to talk to him. Because each time our president will say, I feel your pain, the president is not feeling our pains. honestly, people are dying. Laws, policies are made for people, by people. If it is strangulating people, if it's choking people, the president has the executive order to address it by way of intervention. I think the president has to intervene in this regard. People are not happy. If you go around, sample people's opinion. Not only on social media, just go around and sample people. People are not happy.
The argument of some people is that if we had stayed with paying subsidy, at this moment we might not even have a country anymore.
Look, things can be done gradually.
Good.
If, okay, like the palliative they did the other time, giving the governors whether 5 billion or thereabouts, can they account for that palliative? If you are APC governor in a state and you are being given 5 billion, I can assure you that a PDP member will not benefit. Mm-hmm. And the essence of palliative is for everybody to benefit from it.
Yes.
So, you see, this issue of subsidy, it could be reduced by 10-20%. The effect will go on everybody. So the president has to do something about it. So people are suffering. People are dying.
Now,
companies are folding up. And this is not what we bargained for.
Indeed.
So he has that responsibility. The buck stops on his table. There is no other person that will hold responsible. It is our president. And he has to seriously look at it. That when you make policies and people are dying, you don't allow people to die finish before you now change everything. We know it is important, it is necessary for the regulation, but then this is not what we expect.
Now, the market of importing PMS should be opened to IPMAN members like you, MOMAN members to bring in petroleum products. But as the market is today, is it attractive in any form for you to even play in it?
It is not. Because how do you assess dollar? Because you are not buying this product in Naira. So where do you get the dollars from? And if you now go to market and buy from black market, how do you even assess it? At $1,250, well, what would the landing cost be? So we are being challenged with two things at a time. The dollar and the removal of subsidy. If the dollar had been what it's supposed to be, like maybe 300, but it would have been a different ballgame entirely. But putting too pressure at a time, it's choking, it's killing people. Most of our member stations have been closed down because when the price was increased, okay, you have maybe 10 million or thereabout, you start doing business. Well, the market is not moving again. Where you are selling 5,000 before, you are now selling 1,000. The money has gone. The stations are closed. If you go around, maybe on a lane that you have 10 filling stations before, probably 3 or 4 will be operating. And the implication is that so many people will be out of job. Because when you close down your station, the pump attendants, the night watchman, and everybody will be out of work. So it is very, very critical that the government has to do something very quickly and urgently.
If these refineries work, Port Harcourt, Dangote, the modular refineries, if all of them come on stream, do you see any ease of any form in any way? Because analysts have argued that that's not the silver bullet. It doesn't mean that if that happens, we'll buy fuel at 300 naira or 400 naira. It might not even happen.
Well, naturally, in economies, when there is good supply of any product, the tendency for the price to come down is there.
It's there.
But that will only happen if the cartels are not hijacking the situation. Because once you put business in the hand of some few people that has the financial power to do business, they dictate the short. For example, today, it's not as if independent marketers are willing to sell above 586 that NNPC retail is selling. But we don't have access to that product. As of today, we buy at about 518, 517 from different private depot because we don't have good access to product from NNPC as of today. As I talked to you about 2-3 weeks ago, we were able to receive some product from Lagos Satellite Depot in Ejigbo there.
Okay.
And our people quickly paid in billions of naira. Before you say Jack Robinson, the product got finished, our money is stocked in the system. Yes, as I talk to you, our money is stocked because the product stopped coming again. So the little money you have is stocked with NNPC. So I think there should be adequate plans for the supply of the product. Quite honestly, we're in serious danger.
So moving forward, what do you think? Should I is a 2-1 question now? What do you think about pricing and availability as NNPC still remains the sole importer of PMS? In 2024, what are you thinking about the pricing?
Well, we have had a lot of promises, which we believe until then that Port Harcourt refinery will work. We have 2 refineries in Port Harcourt, 1 in Warri, 1 in Kaduna. All things being equal, if those refineries are working, at least they cannot claim that they are using dollar to import product again. And that should be verified.
The pressure on our FX should come down.
Should come down. So that's number one. So if the products are available, and like I heard you talking to the MD of Nigerian Railway Corporation, if the movement of the product can be done by rail, it will further reduce the price of transportation. Because you see, as of today, this is about 1,100, about 100. So it also affects the transportation, which eventually leads to the increase in the price of pump price. So I'm of the opinion that while we are asking government to do something quickly, but we also exercise patience to see the plans about the refineries working, because it will amaze you that over years, turnaround maintenance on this refinery, spending billions of dollars and yielded no result. But we are only hopeful that, well, until then, this time around, it will yield the desired result. If it does, then we are going to have a good supply and a good price. Then, for NNPC, I think the major issue is that issue of dollar. Yeah. Because NNPC is government.
Yes, so they have all the dollars
they have the assets. But for others, you don't even when you have the naira equivalent, you cannot even get the dollars to buy. And you are not talking of 1,000, 2,000, not even $1 million to buy this product. It's a lot of dollars, maybe running to even at times billions. Yes. So where do we get it? That's also very critical. That government has to do something about it. That the issue of dollar has become a very serious problem in this country. It has affected foodstuff that is being produced in Nigeria.
Yes, everything. Everything is affected by the dollar rate.
Everything is being.
It's a big one. And one liner to IPMAN members. What are you telling them? Because it's a challenging time. At the time, we used to see anybody in the oil and gas business as a big man. Yes, in quotes, Nigeria, you know. But now, what will you tell members? Because many of borrowed monies are into these businesses. We have to be realistic at this time.
Well, I will continue to encourage our members to persevere, because petrol stations, I used to say, cannot be used for another thing. Once you build a petrol station and you have erected your underground tanks, your canopy, you have done the flooring and everything, unless otherwise you want to go out of that business, it cannot be used for another thing. So, but having said this, quite honestly, this is a very trying period for us. Very trying period. I've said it here. that many people are out of business. The NNPC depots are moribund. Monsimi depot has not been working for years. Ibadan depot has not been working for years. Ilorin depot, or a depot, and even satellite depot that I'm talking about, skeleton, maybe once in 6 months or thereabout. So if government can fix, those depots, I think it's going to relieve our people. Now, I want to advise our people that let us put our efforts together, especially the national leadership of IPMAN. Let us work together to ensure that, and join hands with government to ensure that all this depot works. If all this depot works, it's going to give hope to our people, because some of us are alien to coming to load in Lagos. We expect somebody from Ilorin, from Kaduna, from Borno State to come and load from in Lagos. It is not easy.
Honestly.
So I appeal to our member to please persevere. At the end of the tunnel, there's going to be light. But however, we need to unify ourselves. We need to come together. We need to we need to put all hands on deck to ensure that we join hands with federal government, we join hands with NNPC to ensure that all these depots works. If all these depots are working, I'm very sure that 50% of our problems are solved.
I must thank you so much. It's a good way to leave it. Southwest Zonal Chairman of Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Dele Tajudeen, live on the show talking about pricing of PMS and, of course, the role of IPMAN in all of this. Thank you so much. Wish you a great 2024.
Thank you, Tolu.